We have a Bronte pistachio soft serve ice cream, which is off the charts.
Man, you got to tell your friend Rob Gentili that somebody's like making Bronte pistachio soft
I feel
serve.
like I might have to like I should probably be a technician on these machines. I think I can make a killing.
By the way, give me your number because if it breaks,
Yeah, I jinxed it. Did I jinx it?
you're coming to fix it.
All right, welcome back to Industry Only at the Cheese Store. We didn't waste any time. Our guest Marissa Hermer and I are already eating a bunch of cheese and charcuterie. I'm a little bit over sandwiches, but those are probably coming later.
How are
right,
you
Dom?
over sandwiches, bro? All right, now I need to have cheese because now I don't look right without.
Okay, so
something on
this
my
is
plate.
obviously Dom. We have Marissa Hermer with us today. She's the glamorous restaurateur who just opened. She's laughing at the fact that I'm saying she's glamorous and she's wearing a tracksuit and she still looks perfect, but whatever.
And she crushes Life cereal for breakfast.
Yeah. So she just opened Chez Mia. Previously, she still operates these restaurants. She opened Olivetta and the Draycott, made a big splash in Los Angeles in the few years, survived the pandemic, is back stronger than ever with this gorgeous patio. And Dom hasn't been to Chez Mia yet, but I think he's going to be a little excited
My
to talk
wife's going
about
next
this.
week, though, with all her friends. Yeah.
Because this is the old Ago space. And back when Dom was a younger man, I mean, like Ago, Kamsa, these were like his haunts. So there's a lot of history for him here that we'll talk about it in a little bit. But Mr., you and I talked about this. You weren't really a patron of Ago, but what was it like taking this iconic space and then honestly like kind of ripping it apart, right? We love the patio. We didn't say you did anything wrong, but no, talk about how you completely transformed it.
We did. We completely transformed it. I think to your original question, or rather point, I had never been to Ago, but like legendary Los Angeles spots and around the world, I heard the stories of Ago and everyone. And I think Ago not only holds a special place in a lot of Angelinos' hearts, but also it was at a time before cell phones and photos. And so the stories actually live within the patrons. And so even when doing the research about who went to Ago, et cetera, yes, of course, I can find it. But one of my greatest joys now is everyone walking through our doors at Chez Mia and saying, this is what happened to me there. This is what I loved at Ago. This is who I sat with. Oh my gosh, I'm sitting now in the parking lot. Like all of these, it's a very evocative spot for so many Angelinos. And it's a real, I'd say it's an honor to bring it back and reinvent it, all of those, and sort of to maybe reignite all of those feelings and memories for many patrons.
For a lot of people.
Yeah, like I remember, God, my wife and I were dating, so I think 17 years ago, whatever it was, 17 years ago, we, like literally, that was like the hot spot. Like you went there, like maybe you had a little dinner, but you definitely went there to see and be seen. And that was, I mean, that's still a hot stretch, but that's where like Kamsa was. Like that was like, there was like a big thing going on in that neighborhood. I'm curious, why did you not keep it Italian and why did you go to French?
So when we signed the spot, it was during the pandemic. And one of the things that we learned as Angelinos that we liked doing is dining outside, whether we were dining on the curb or in parking lots. We live in this most incredible climate, and yet we often dine inside. And Matt worked with the city of West Hollywood, who was granting permission for outdoor dining. And he said, well, hang on, I want it in perpetuity. And because of the pandemic, he was able to get...
Oh, so it was a good byproduct of the pandemic.
That was a good byproduct. And then that summer, Matt and I and the kids were traveling through Provence by chance. And we went back to one of my favorite spots in Provence, which is a little town called Saint-Paul-de-Vence in south of France. And there is this incredible, also legendary, iconic, hallowed ground spot called Colombe d'Or Hotel. And we were sitting out on the terrace of Colombe d'Or Hotel under sort of the, I don't know what kind of plants are growing in, but it is shaded and it's very sort of friendly, cozy, sophisticated, chic. And Matt and I thought, this is what Los Angeles needs in this outdoor dining spot. And also we had Italian already with Olivetta down the street.
Which is delicious, by the way. I'm plugging Chef Lori. I think she's amazing. Nico's over there now. Love that place. Actually celebrated my birthday there, and it was spectacular. Food was amazing. Best it's ever been. Congrats.
Well, thank you, but also thanks to Lori and the team. They crush it.
They crush.
But also Provençal food, South of France food is very similar to Southern California as far as, and I don't know where we fall on the longitude or latitude, but our access to great produce, to great purveyors, great suppliers.
Right, cooking with what's around you.
Exactly, and that's what Matt and I love to do. And so the Provençal South of France food really lent to, and just timing because we were there, we were just very inspired. And so we wanted to bring that magic, those flavor, taste profiles to West Hollywood.
So, Dom, do you remember the parking lot at Ago and what that was like? Because that parking lot's not there anymore. This gorgeous patio's there now.
Well, thank God. But that patio is probably the busiest parking lot in the city.
Yeah.
But I also, too, I mean, like, the location is, like, in the heart of the city. Like, that, to me, is, like, one of the most beautiful locations. And, I mean, if you think about the city of West Hollywood, my wife and I lived there for a really long time before we moved to Westwood. And that is, like, probably my favorite city to go out in. There's so many restaurants and bars and like, especially if you're in that, even when you're married, like it's still fun to go out to the restaurants there and we still do it. But like, I don't know, that was like a product of its time. And I think that was just like one of the best times to be in LA, be in West Hollywood, have this iconic restaurant that, I don't know, I mean like, it was like a really hard reservation to get. And back then, like, I didn't even have my wholesale business. So I wasn't even, like, I didn't even have an inn. I didn't know the chef. We just like got in when they let us in, you know? But it was a really special place, really special. But I've seen pictures of what you guys have done with that parking lot. And it's really amazing. I mean, and like you said, there's not a lot of places like that in LA where you actually have this beautiful outdoor dining space.
Beautiful outdoor dining. We've sort of created like a Garden of Eden. One of the things that I loved about Colombe d'Or is that vibrant, lush dining experience where you feel like you're dining in your grandmother's garden. We also have an incredible large wraparound bar because, as a mother of three who is also opening a restaurant, I'm not drinking at a bar outside much, but one of my favorite things to do in a past or future lifetime is to sit at a bar and have a cocktail al fresco. I mean, that's the dream. And
that's awesome.
And there's not a lot of, watering holes for us Angelinos to meet our neighbors, like a sort of a cheers. Mm-hmm. And so that's what we are hoping to create with our bar, our al fresco bar at Chez Mia.
I love it.
Tell me a little bit about the design, because obviously all your restaurants are inspired by your travels, and some of them are vivid, bright colors, and some of them you're going for more green and soft. But you think about this, and you obviously have a designer who thinks about this too. So what were you going for? Tell me a little bit about the greenery and the colors that you have there.
It's so funny you say the colors because, yes, typically I love bright colors. Maybe it's my time. I mean, I'm wearing an
electric red jumpsuit.
Right, no, like Olivetta's an
Is that a one piece or
colorful
it's a one
restaurant.
piece? No, it's two pieces. Okay, cool.
It's
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm not going to get lost in the crowd.
She's wearing a zippered onesie, Dom. What kind of question is that?
I'm wearing a fire engine red one piece. Yes, I love color. I've always gravitated towards color. And also sort of lush, rich texture. With Chez Mia in particular, it's strange. People tend to think that neutrals are like white, khaki, creams, etc. I always think neutrals are, and maybe this is the animal in me, but neutrals are greens, yellows, and blues. And that's more of like the nature neutral. And pinks. Like I think of like a light pink is like a sunset and like a blue.
Marissa thinking of pink as a neutral says a lot about when you go to Olivetta, you're like, this room is purple.
It's so bright. It's so beautiful.
So that makes me feel comfortable. So maybe I'm more well, we're all animals, but like I'm hunting, in the jungle. I feel more comfortable in a space that has greens, blues, yellows, pinks in it. That's just where I like feel more balanced. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's the color palette.
So that's the color palette. I mean, the vibe obviously like is inspired by your trips to Europe. Let's talk a little bit about the food because you're right. It is very California, right? There's fish, there's crudo, there's raw bar, there's lots of vegetables. Tell me about how that translates well to your quote unquote audience, given that obviously you're still serving them lobster pasta. You're not serving them the crazy huge lobster pasta, but this is a different restaurant than Olivetta. So tell me about that.
So 2 things. Yes, we pulled a lot of inspiration from our travels in south of France, and forgive my French because my pronunciation is rubbish, but the Côte d'Azur, not du jour.
Don't look at
Côte
me for
d'Azur.
anything
Côte
French related.
I mean, I don't even know if I said it correctly. Now you've got me worried.
But that's sort of the general inspiration.
Try to get Dom to
Oh, yeah,
pronounce
don't even look at me
anything.
for French. I'm
And
barely
then,
on English here.
By a lucky twist of fate, our investing partner, who came into the project to really bring Chez Mia to life, his private chef is from France, and Kurt Seidensticker and his private chef have spent many summers in south of France. And as a result, when they came in, they've really fine-tuned and elevated the menu offering. So it really is, it's not just my interpretation of the menu that I had at Petite Maison Nice. It really is authentic to south of France. And it's very light. I mean, all of the food, and yes, of course, we use the best purveyors. Yes.
I'm so sorry. Can you say that a little louder for the audience that wasn't listening?
She's not talking about you. I went to the restaurant with Leeway. His branzino's on the menu, of course. It's amazing how it's literally like one circle.
True, but we really do. And as a result, it's an honor to be here because I do love cheese, obviously, as I munch away.
I love that.
But also, we use all Snake River Farms, and we use, we go to farmers market for all of our veg, and we have our particular farmers that we've sussed out. I think we tasted 16 different potatoes for our pomme frite.
Right.
And so all of that is not only very intentional, but you can taste it on your in the product on your palate.
What are your favorite dishes on the menu now? And tell me a little bit about how you think this menu is going to change.
Oh, God. Well, I've done something which I thought was quite clever, is I actually put MF next to each of my favorite dishes. Mia favorite. Mia is actually, whilst the name didn't originate with my name is, my birth given name is Marissa Hermer Anschutz. And when we were coming up with names and going through trademark issues and blah, 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 Chez Mia was actually, Kurt put it on his suggested name list. And we were working with lawyers, and they said, do any of these names have a personal resonance for you? And I was like, well, that's my given name, Marissa Hermer Anschutz, Mia. And they said, perfect, you can own your own name, so we don't have any trademark issues there. So all of my favorites have Mia favorite, MF next to them. It's like Sophie's choice, right? What are my favorite dishes?
Well, yeah, but you don't have to
Like
kill
choosing
anybody.
between children kind of thing.
I mean, look, I love the caviar gougere. It is this sort of puff pastry filled with creme fraiche with a dollop glob of caviar on top and a gold leaf, and you just put it in your mouth in one bite, and it explodes in your mouth, and it is so delicious. I love the gambas, grilled shrimp. I love the strip steak. I love the branzino. I love the hamachi carpaccio is excellent with black truffle. I love the salmon carpaccio with a tomato confit on top. I love the burrata with stone fruits, delicious. The bread, oh my God, sorry.
Oh, wow, here we go.
So the bread, I could wax lyrical about our bread. It was Chef Michael Fiorelli who first taught me at Olivetta that Angelinos do indeed eat bread.
Yeah,
and you've probably
they
found
like
this
it.
having a cheese and bread shop.
Yeah,
He sells a lot of sandwiches.
We're in the heart of a pizza, pasta, salad revolution, and that's been ongoing.
When we moved here from London, and we met Chef Michael Fiorelli, and it was our first meeting, and he said, I want to show you guys some bread that I'd like to put on the menu. I said, no, we're in Los Angeles. People don't eat bread. Like, we are our body is a temple here, right? And he was like, just trust me, Marissa. And turns out, obviously, Chef Michael Fiorelli knows how to cook for Angelinos. And he knows.
I don't like to give him a plug, but I'll give him a plug. I actually love the guy. He's great. He's great.
And so our bread at Olivetta, which Chef Fiorelli created, is incredible. And people, obviously talk about the bread and love the bread and eat the bread. So bread, I learned, is very important for Angelinos. So when we needed a bread, we needed the Chez Mia bread. And so our kitchen team worked to create a bread that is fermented for 48 hours. It's just as delicious and completely the opposite of Olivetta bread. It is light and fluffy.
So you're baking this bread all in-house. Wow. That's amazing. That's hard.
And I love the bread. And you sort of slide it through the Normandy butter, and it's perfect. It's like a girl dinner, bread and cheese. I'm done.
Oh, man. I'm looking this up
I had
right
to teach Dom what girl dinner was.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't realize he's the number one purveyor of girl
You got to
dinner
go back
in
to the
Los
first
Angeles.
season. Had no idea.
This is girl dinner.
Yeah,
Girl
no, this
dinner, love
this
it.
is
girl's very happy.
This is absolute girl dinner.
girl
But
breakfast.
you know my favorite thing to actually eat here, Marissa, besides the sandwiches that I'm not actually tired of, is Dom will just bring out Normandy butter and anchovies and bread here, and sometimes that's
my
all.
jam.
Sometimes that's all I want to eat.
That's all I want to eat sometimes, all the time.
Yeah. So, I mean, that sort of speaks to another thing about your restaurant, right? It's like you do the simple things well, because I was with Leeway, and Leeway, like Dom, is very, very picky about food. But we were like, this simple green salad, like it's correct. The vinaigrette is correct,
Andy,
right?
you ate there already?
Yeah, you have. Yeah, I didn't invite you.
He's showing off. Get with the program,
what a
Dominic.
The pineapple carpaccio, also super simple light
Now he's name
dessert.
dropping the meals.
And
Oh, we just got in I think it was after you joined us. We've had our soft serve ice cream ice cream makers.
their machine works.
Okay,
Dom. Don't
I
even
have
start.
a question. I have a question about this.
stuck in customs forever. We have a Bronte pistachio soft serve ice cream, which is off the charts. That's one of my favorites too.
Pistachios should come from Bronte, by the way. Amazing. We had this conversation not too long ago. Like every place you go to with soft serve, usually the machine is broken. Did you bring the technician in too? Does he sleep in the parking lot? Like, how's this working?
That is a very good question.
Because apparently they break down all the time.
So I think it's all about so I'm not the one cleaning the machine.
Wait, hold on. You're not?
Ours hasn't broken yet. Can we knock on someone?
It's
By the way, we only got it about a week
been a
ago.
week, Dom.
Yeah, it's been a week.
Let her have this week.
So by the time I come, it's going to be broken because I can't get a reservation.
You know, who's-
Somehow we have two, because also the one we were waiting on was taking so
you
long.
need a backup.
And so we now have a backup.
Okay, good.
So
man, you got to tell your friend Rob Gentili that somebody's like making Bronte pistachio soft
I feel
serve.
like I might have to like I should probably be a technician on these machines. I think I can make a killing.
by the way,
Go ahead.
give me your number, because if it breaks,
Yeah,
he
I
doesn't-
jinxed it. Did I jinx it?
you're coming to fix it.
So go ahead. You got the soft serve. You're doing pistachio.
Yeah, Bronte pistachio, arguably the best pistachios in the
Yeah, with the
entire
fruit
world.
compote on top.
Okay, great. I'll come back.
We have a
love.
tart
Maybe Dom gets to come.
trapezion.
Invite me, bro.
Fresh baked madeleines. Now I'm just on the dessert menu. We have a chocolate mousse.
Yeah, you could just stop there. I'm in.
I mean, it's all really delicious, I think.
I love it.
So I want to talk to you a little bit about the music too, because one thing you and I have talked about is that like you're a scene setter, so you understand that it has to be a total package. And during the pandemic, you sent me some playlists.
I love a playlist.
Yeah, no, you have some.
Do you piece them together yourself? Like, is
Yeah,
it
no,
like
her-
back in the day with the iPods?
No, I go into these dark holes on Spotify.
Love.
And I find a track that I like, and then I find more tracks like it, and then I
just building it out.
It's my like favorite hobby.
And she's very good at different genres. Like there's one playlist I remember where it was like a live version of Shine a Light by Flight Facilities. But every song that you had, it had that money note. It had that sort of build. It was party music without being the kind of party music where you need the EDM drop in every single thing, because it was actually like melodic, real musicians. People were playing instruments. But you made a playlist like this, and then you sent me another playlist, and it was more like funk, obviously,
I love music. I mean, my mother was and she was a concert pianist. She is a piano teacher.
Oh, no way.
My brother is a pianist and in a band. Music has always been a part of my life. And certainly,
You play anything?
I play the piano. I mean, I had to. I grew up in a piano household.
Yeah.
There was no escape.
That's awesome.
But music is so much a part of the entire experience. It's like this. It's not just this delicious cheese or the prosciutto. It's this tablecloth. There's no music in this room, but I think we have to be quiet as a result. But it is. It's all about the art and the music. I think about an experience, and I think about my five senses, your five senses. And yes, okay, in a restaurant, you have taste, you have smell, but you also, what am I going to see? What am I going to hear? What am I going to feel? What does like every surface feel like? And that's how you create sort of an embodied experience.
Yeah, the whole goal is you make people
You
feel
think
more
of everything
alive
from
every
start to
way you
finish.
can.
Different ways to tell the same story.
So you obviously like, and I know that like we're talking about different facets of hospitality, but obviously like you were in New York, you were in London, you're in LA now. Tell me why LA and why this type of establishment for you, you know, based on everything else you've done before.
Oh God, I mean, why LA? Because Matt and I live here and we were raising our 3 young kids here.
Yeah.
I also truly, it needs to be a place, whatever we create, that I want to go to.
Right.
For 2 reasons. Number 1, I have to be the target customer. That's the only way I can like create it, is really for myself. Number 2, I'm going to spend a lot of time there, so I better like it. I don't know if there was a number 3, but I think LA has changed. You know, I grew up in Newport Beach and Laguna Beach, and coming to LA, I'm 42, but I wasn't coming here when I was a newborn. But 30 years ago, 25 years ago, was a very different restaurant landscape
Sure.
than it is now. And now Angelinos, we are well-traveled. We know these places. We just want them on our own territory. And so to be able to offer this type of sort of elevated, almost escapist experience that also is rooted in a sense of nostalgia and feels like comfortable.
It
Well,
reminds
you-
you of something whether you've been there or not for a lot of
But
people.
you said something to me before that resonated really well, like a neighborhood hangout. So like
Yeah.
it's hard. I think it's hard to find like a neighborhood hangout in LA, and you have to have. I mean, with your location and where you are, like to me, that's one of the great. Like you always know what you're gonna get. Like you said, it's almost like a Cheers thing, and like that to me, like that mentality, like that is exactly. I grew up on the East Coast, and for me, like we always had our spots to go to, and that's why.
yeah,
like,
but you're talking about LA bougie transporting neighborhood hangouts, because it's like, you know, on the quote unquote west side, there's no busier restaurant than Elefante. That's just a fact, right? There's some days where they do like 6 turns because people like essentially like they want to come during the sunset, they want to come during the day. That very much is a neighborhood restaurant because people go over and over. But if you go there for the first time, it's this crazy transporting experience. And I think that sort of the best places in LA can kind of straddle the line. And I mean, that's what you're going for, obviously, right?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Look, we need to, and any restaurant needs to now in Los Angeles,
Yeah.
be a place that it cannot just be a anniversary spot, you know, a once a year or once every 2 years. It needs to be a spot where the server, the maitre d', knows your name, knows what drink you like, where you feel, where we sit you at the same table. So it's true hospitality in almost like when you think about hospitality, like the root word being hospital, right? Or hosp, right?
Yeah.
Taking care of someone. And you become a neighborhood spot when you take care of your locals and your neighbors. And yes, of course, Chez Mia, because of Ago, we get a lot of celebrities in. But our neighbors, who are also celebrities, you know, everyone who walks in the front door is a local, whether or not you are a celebrity or our next door neighbor.
yeah, see, so for me, like that, to me, like that resonates because I feel like I said before, having that neighborhood hangout, like, and also your menu is like defining that neighborhood hangout. It's like
Yeah, I love that for Dom, his neighborhood hangout for a while. Like he just went to Ago, like no big deal.
No, but I mean, like, think about that for a second.
He
right?
goes
Like,
he goes to La Dolce Vita for like second dinner. That's Dom's type of neighborhood hangout.
I like a baked clams before I go to bed.
Yeah.
What can
By the way,
say?
I get it. The places you go back to over and over again, but the menu has to speak to that too.
And I was gonna say, so my wife and I always have this conversation. It's like we want to go try somewhere new, but we always remember how we were treated, so we go back to those same places over and over again.
Yeah.
I love that though. There's something to be said about that.
Yeah, it's interesting that you're bringing that. I mean, it's not interesting. Obviously, I know why you were mentioning Michael Fiorelli, because obviously, like, he worked with you. He helped you develop a lot of things, including bread, pastas, etc. The story of a chef like him, right? He worked
Come on,
for
you gotta dig in.
crush the cheese. He worked for Carrie Simon, who is the chef, who more than anybody else in LA was like straddling celebrity, the way that LA wanted to eat, and sort of like just creating like these whimsical transporting experiences. And now obviously like Michael is doing pizza, right?
Yeah.
So the range of things that sort of happens in LA, right? Where the pizza place and the Cine place on Melrose, right? They have the same DNA. Like, what makes LA a city where people want both those things literally from the same people?
Because I think LA, like every other city, when you strip off all of our masks, whatever, we're all just humans. We still like, yes, even if Michael Fiorelli is cooking for a celebrity, or maybe now he's cooking in a garden for pizzas.
Right, people get a little more dressed up in West Hollywood than they do in Abbot Kinney going to pick up a pizza in a garden.
But we're still the same person, whether or not whatever we're wearing. We're all just people who like to have Life cereal for breakfast. Do you know what I mean?
Love that.
And so if you connect with someone, a patron, on a human level, and feed them good food that's not pretentious or, it's just simple quality, and you welcome them in like this is their home away from home, then I think that's the secret to success.
Right.
And so whether or not we or Michael is cooking for, the Sultan of Brunei, if, he's cooking a pizza and welcoming, like, we're all the same.
So besides going to the south of France, like, what were some of your other references for this restaurant that you just opened? Because you go everywhere and you think about things all the time. And you also, and I know you well enough to know that you go to the neighborhood spots in LA, but you purposely have to go to the, more like whatever scene-laden nightlife adjacent spots in LA too. Because you're trying to not really be one or the other, but kind of be something that works for people who want one or the other, right?
I think we want, look, I love nothing more than like rollerblading down to Venice Beach and having a taco on the beach.
Right.
So let's not forget that. But like I think we want a bit of theater. So whether or not it's
I'm glad you used that word.
rollerblading on Venice Beach for a taco and like I learned they're not 40s. It's like a tall guy or something, whatever. I like theater in dining, whatever that is. Otherwise, I'm just eating, a power bar in my car, like that's, so what is the theater? And, there's so many different places in LA that offer theater to dining. What we like to offer is a little zhuzhy theater to dining, where the food quality and the cocktails and the wine equal the experience of the ambiance and the music and the theater.
Yeah. And it's interesting that you use that word because LA, it's true. There's theater of all kinds, right? Like a place like Toca Madera, right? It's this theater that they thought about a lot. They use that word too, right? They want to build this up. But then you go to a place like Safi's, right? And by definition, that place is loud. It's like open flames, right? You can't really hear anything because that's the vibe that Ori and Genevieve want, right? They want it frenetic. They want it to be a little louder than what you're used to, right? They want it to be an unruly dinner party. And no, Toca Madera and Safi's are not going for the same audience, but this is LA, and I know people who go to both. That's kind of the interesting thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, I go to it all.
Yeah.
Because what is it? I am layered. What's that poem? I have multitudes. I have multitudes.
Right. You're an onion. We can keep peeling and there's something else.
Yeah. There's many nights of a week to, try different things.
Yeah. Because obviously, tell me a little bit, you have that restaurant, obviously, the Draycott in the Palisades, and that, is a different type of neighborhood restaurant. So tell me about, how that's a different side of you in a way.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's a very different side of me, and it's also a different part of town.
Yeah.
Like, when we opened the Draycott over 5 years ago, we had 3 young, a 6-month-old, a 3-year-old, and a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
So my dream was having the kids run around on the lawn while I had an extra glass of rosé at lunch.
Yeah.
Then the kids grow up a little bit, and the kids can dine with me and sit with me. And I wanted a place where, okay, I'd had my years of soccer mom, and granted, I still do that. But where's the place for me where I can let my hair down and like have an elevated experience too? But Los Angeles is so interesting, and I can say that now that I cross the 405 all the time.
Right, he doesn't.
Yeah, no. I mean, you're just on the cusp too. Like Chez Mia is like right on the cusp of Los Angeles, so it's still in my hood.
A lot of people don't, and so you can actually create different neighborhood restaurants, but you have to take into consideration the neighborhood.
Sure.
And what that is, and who the people are, and how they like to dine. I mean, the Draycott closed. I mean, we'll stay open at Chez Mia or Olivetta. People tequilaing. Sorry, is that a word? Tequila'ing?
It is now.
Sure, you just made
1,000%, and I know exactly what you mean too. So yeah, it's a word.
Tequila'ing.
Yeah.
Until 1 a.m.
No, I mean, I remember like Olivetta opened a little bit before the pandemic, and during the first few months, there was a big clamor of people who wanted to go there at like 11:30 or midnight. So you just let them in.
Yeah, where the Palisades is asleep.
Yeah.
By the way, they're
No,
like
literally
in
asleep.
deep REM sleep.
Yeah.
Like they've been deep asleep for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's a very different sort of brand, creating in different.
I think the Palisades is also hard too because like I don't know how many people are going to the Palisades to go have dinner versus the people that are around.
It's very much.
We did a
bubble.
farmers market there forever, which it's great. It was awesome, but like it really is like I don't know if I'm driving from Westwood to the Palisades to go have dinner.
Yeah,
like, it's hard. It's hard.
It's a unique little bubble.
Yeah. It's a great bubble. It's just unique.
To answer your question, though, I thought of one other thing about travels and how it inspired Chez Mia. I also love Italy. I mean, who doesn't? Sorry.
Who doesn't love Italy? I mean,
Hey,
what are we doing
here? Weird about me.
Wow, shocker. First guest ever.
The cured meats are
second
okay.
season. Finally, we have someone who likes Italy.
So we were in Italy a couple years ago for a friend's wedding. And granted, Chez Mia has taken so long, and so we've been able to like think about the different elements of Chez Mia for a very long time. But in Italy, I saw these Sicilian heads all over the place. Do you know the story of a Sicilian head?
My mother's from Sicily, but go ahead.
Well, you tell the story.
No, I'm not telling the story.
Do you know the story?
I might.
Okay. So I'll tell the story.
That means no.
I'll tell the story.
Tom has no idea.
So there's this story, and by the way, I'll probably butcher it because I don't really remember.
That's right, I'll correct you.
Okay, perfect.
I'm just kidding.
There was a Sicilian. I'll start
There's
here.
nobody here to fact check this story.
Yeah, no.
If only we had a device.
We don't have internet in this room.
Yeah, exactly. There's only something you could do on your phone.
Yeah, we're trying.
I should make this story a lot more interesting then. I'll stick with the facts.
The facts is you know, though.
There was a Sicilian woman who fell in love with a Moorish man. And they had a very intense love affair. And then one day the man said, by the way, I need to leave because I have another family. And he hadn't told the Sicilian woman that he had another family. And she got so cross, so she cut off his head. And
and that's the inspiration for a restaurant.
I almost said which one, but that's not appropriate for the podcast. Marissa, please.
You can't say that on the podcast.
You can't say that, and you made me say it.
By the way,
So I heard a very different version of this story. Go ahead.
Okay.
My version, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
So the Sicilian, they're always together, a woman's head and a Moorish man's head. And you put flowers or like whatever, plants in the top, and you water them. And when the water comes down from the plants, it's their tears, and it's the man crying, and it's the woman crying. So these Sicilian heads you see all around Italy. I thought, wouldn't it be nice to have Sicilian heads around Chez Mia? I don't know why, but I just liked them. Plus, it's sort of gory, and I like a bit of gore. Like,
Right.
just feels dark. I love some darkness. This is maybe saying too much. Anyway, so I spoke to my friend Stephanie Morton, who is from the Morton restaurant family, and she's a ceramicist. And I said, why don't we make Sicilian heads, like ceramic Sicilian heads?
Yeah.
And so she and I made a couple and painted them, and we put them around the restaurant. And then we said, why don't we make some more? And the idea behind making some more Sicilian heads is, number one, again, they're colorful, and I love, as we said, color. But also, akin to Colombe d'Or in St. Paul de Vence, which had a lot of these incredible artists stay there, Picasso, Miro, Matisse, Calder, and pay for their dinners and rooms with this incredible artwork. I thought, why don't we get local friends and artists to create artwork for Chez Mia, and I'll give them a food comp or something. And so we've done that with a lot of the artwork as well. And actually we have, and I would love you to paint one too, we have 14 unpainted Sicilian heads, and we need to paint them and put them around the restaurant.
Oh, cool.
Dude, have you seen my artwork?
Show me?
No, absolutely not. I draw stick figures.
It doesn't matter. Mistakes are beautiful.
I'd love to paint whatever you want me to paint.
My daughter and I do this thing called the 3-marker challenge. I guess that's what kids do, and it's an art contest, and she wins every time. And the only thing I can do is just do dumb shit like draw a house inside a house, and then just make her squirm. So we are exactly the people that you want to.
Perfect. It's all about the color. Look, I have beautiful colors. I have beautiful glazes. What you choose to put on it.
Maybe I'll get my daughter to do it.
Yes.
She'll make one look like Olivia Rodrigo colors.
Great.
Which are Marissa Hermer colors too, now that I think about it.
Great.
So basically Olivia Rodrigo room inside
Yeah.
of
The
it
new
already.
neutrals.
A rainbow.
We'll draw the new
Yeah,
neutrals.
she's a rainbow.
We got
It's like that Rolling Stones song I love.
So speaking of
Is there a
children,
limit on how much cheese I can have?
yeah, keep going.
Yeah, you've exceeded it like 20 minutes ago, but just keep going. Don't worry about it. We're good.
Do we need to call a doctor?
Yeah, we'll just have to replenish this one.
No, but speaking of
So
children, I remember during the pandemic, you were cooking with your kids. So, like, what's their relationship to food and hospitality at this point? Do they love it more? Do they hate it at this point?
No, I mean, it's like, it's just part of their life. I was having some friends over the other night, or the kids and I were having some friends over, and I went down to the kitchen. I'll show you this. And my 8-year-old daughter somehow out of the kitchen or out of the fridge had created the most beautiful charcuterie crudité board. It literally, it was like...
It's called Girl Dinner Dome, just so you know.
It was so beautiful. I mean, food is theater.
Right.
They all cook, by the way, because they love it, but also
Do you like to cook?
I love to cook.
You cook at home?
I cook it less. I mean, I have a
It
cookbook.
must be hard with all the restaurants going out
Yeah, I
constantly.
wrote a cookbook. I'm not cooking so much right now. I'll cook like a Sunday feast lunch when I have proper time. But I'm cooking less. I mean, of course, I feed the kids.
Well, no.
But it's not
Life
like...
cereal, we heard it was life cereal.
Yeah.
And cheesy eggs.
Cheesy
But now it's going to
eggs.
be charcuterie for breakfast.
Yeah, I mean, all of that. But they do love to cook. But it's also really family time together. As a working parent, you understand that you can't do everything for your kids their entire life. My kids always hear me say, I raised an independent young man or woman with 2 legs and 2 arms. So if you would like cheesy eggs, there's their fridge. So they've learned how to cook. I'm
need
not
to
a
try
short
this.
order.
We need to try
Yeah,
this.
I'm not a short order chef.
Do they order for themselves at restaurants? What's that like?
It's a disaster.
Are they adventurous or no?
Very. And
Wow.
very, they have very expensive tastes.
Okay.
Yeah. I run into that too. But like, there are children. Why are you surprised?
I'm not surprised, but I'm like, I'll get caviar for my birthday and I'll turn
Your
around.
kids will eat caviar?
Yes.
See, my daughter ate a lot of that when she was younger, but now that she's older,
They
it's
do-
like
they
she went through this whole thing where like
It's awful. By the way, I don't support it.
They do
Yeah.
go through phases. I mean, it's like my daughter, it's like, if you gave her 24-month age prosciutto,
Yeah.
she'd be like, this isn't the right one.
yeah, you don't have the 30?
Yeah. I mean, she, like for a while she's eating goldfish crackers or whatever, but it's like,
Yeah, that was the dream. That was nice and easy.
right?
Oh man.
And now, if they want nachos, it's not that you can just make them nachos. They want specific nachos from a specific restaurant. So,
Yeah. Well, we spoiled them.
but that's
the
not
bottom
a,
line.
That's not,
good.
That's not a disaster. That's just our
No,
children
I mean, the
becoming us.
disaster is when it's like they're eating half my caviar. And it also sounds really pretentious. So I'm sorry that it's coming out of my mouth. It's just, again, it's another fact. Because they've been around very good food, that's just what they're used to.
Yeah.
And they like it. And then now they know the difference. And
What's your favorite thing to cook on the Sunday dinners? What do you call them? Sunday supper?
Sunday
What'd you call
feast.
them?
yeah, like a
feast.
Sunday feast. Like we do Sunday roast. We lived in London for a long time. Matt's British. The kids were all born there. I mean, look, I'm very basic. I love a roast chicken dinner. So I love a roast chicken and a cauliflower cheese and a ratatouille and roast potatoes and like
I call myself. This is like the time of. I love this time of year. I love the Sundays. I mean, we're on a soccer field every weekend, but when we're not, like to have like a nice Sunday, the weather's like perfect. It's like fall in LA.
Crisp.
I love to cook. Like,
Wait,
that's
do you
like
make Sunday gravy though?
Oh, bro, Sunday gravy. I mean, I make like a. I mean.
Yeah, what do you make?
I will. So like, yeah.
Wait,
like,
why is Sunday gravy a
no,
bad thing to talk about?
No, it's not. But it's like very cliche. But like, I do like a nice proper Sunday dinner, and I'll do it with like it depends. Like if I'm really in the mood and I have the time, like I'll make a sauce from scratch. I'll make all the meatballs. Like I'll do the whole thing. I'll do the chicken parm. I'll do veal. I'll do like
He just named all this Italian American stuff, but he's insulted that I said Sunday gravy.
No, I'm not insulted, but I don't call it gravy. But that's just me. It's all right.
What do they call it?
You're more
Staten
Italian
Island?
than I am anyway, huh?
What do they call it? Staten
I
Island?
call it sauce.
Sunday sauce.
Sunday sauce.
All right, fine.
I love a Sunday sauce.
Yeah, but it's fun because
I've
it's
never
like
heard of that.
it's happening all day long.
Yeah.
And you're just like it's just like the whole thing, and it's crisp out because you don't really get that crisp. When you're in LA, like it's just that time of year. So I love doing that and inviting like friends over later on. Like my daughter will have a bunch of friends come over. We'll like break bread, like just hang out. I love that.
Yeah,
I
there's
do.
nothing better. I want to make a chili. It
so
feels like
cozy.
chili time of year.
Yeah, chili.
That's coming up for me next.
I like that.
Maybe this is. I actually have a question. I'm having. So I just moved. Matt and
we
I are
asked the
divorcing.
questions.
Oh,
we asked the
sorry.
questions. No, it's all right. Okay.
I have a
You just
cheese
moved,
question.
Oh no! Now I got to look it up.
So we just moved. Matt and I are divorcing, but we work together and great friends, and thank God for that. But I'm having a little housewarming tomorrow, and what cheeses and what meats. I mean, am I presenting this board? Like, what am I buying upstairs?
Yeah, www. No, no. I would honestly. What's great is we will go upstairs. We'll taste a bunch of stuff, and we will put together. We can either put it together for you, or you can put together your own board. But we can give you. I like variety. I like sheep, cow, goat, little blue, little triple creme. You don't have to do the blue if you don't want. You lived in England, maybe you like. Oh no, you lived in London. Sorry.
London, yeah.
Same thing. No, I'm just kidding. No, but basically, like we'll put together a nice little selection of some different textures, some different flavors. And so this is for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll rock it out. Get a little jam.
I mean, perfect timing.
I would love that. Yeah, let's do it.
I wasn't even planning this podcast for this day, but now it happened.
No, I love it. Let's go.
All right, do you guys need to go and do a shop doing it in the podcast now? Or?
Yeah, we have a little time.
Let's get back to the questions.
Yeah.
No, I don't have any more questions. Like, what cheese are you excited to show her right now? Because it's like not everybody.
So I got to tell you, I mean, like we spoke about it before, but we have
all the
so many cheeses that we import directly from Italy. There's a few really special highlights. And also, too, we spoke about this before, but cheese is seasonal. And right now, like we have Vacheron Mondor, we've got a lot of fresh cheeses that have just come in from overseas that are somewhat seasonal. We have the mountain cheeses like the Comtes, and
I love a Comte.
yeah, and we have a 36-month, we have a 30-month.
Wow.
So there's a lot of great cheeses, and also too in the next like few weeks, we'll go from probably 400 to 500 to 600, maybe even 700 different cheeses, all at
Wow.
It's crazy. It's crazy, but it's also fun. I mean, like this is the time of year, so.
Right, he's got you covered for a lot of
I got you
parties,
covered.
basically.
I'm
And I got the
so
charcuterie,
excited.
I've got the copa, I've got the prosciutto, 24-month, 30 for Andy's daughter. We've got the spicy salami. We've got a little
Wait,
bit
do
of
you have
everything.
36 though?
Bro,
48?
what am I, a museum? Of course I have 30.
This
What
is
do you
the
think
Met
we
of
do
cheese.
here? What do you think we do here, bro? It's not for show. We're here to
We're
sell.
actually looking around. Like, these are not... like
These are all real,
These
by
are
the
not
way. Let's
ornaments.
look.
These are
Those
real.
are real Pata Negra Bellotas with the bone in.
Oh, Pata Negra.
I love a Pata Negra.
Yeah. I have the Cinco Jotas upstairs. We got a lot. We got a lot of stuff.
Oh my! I mean, this is literally.
So
This is like Willy Wonka's
Yeah.
chocolate factory.
So
you very
last
much.
question for the podcast, but then you should go upstairs and then just answer this for real. What kind of sandwich do you like, Marissa?
Oh my god!
Typically. I think they've got one for you upstairs, but what kind of
I mean,
sandwich do you like?
Well, like, where do we start? Like, how?
You eat everything. You don't care. You eat bread?
I love bread. I love every type of sandwich, but I also like what type of mood am I in? Like, am I
Yeah,
feeling
man.
sad and lonely? In which case, I want a peanut butter and jelly.
Okay, so you're not feeling sad and lonely. So go
Hopefully
ahead.
you're not feeling sad and lonely now.
Oh, what's available here? No, by the way.
No, they'll make you peanut butter and jelly. We don't give a
I'll
fuck
make whatever
here.
you want.
By the way, I also love, I mean, I love an Italian. I love, did you say chicken parm? That would be a good sandwich.
I did not say chicken parm for a sandwich. That was our Sunday supper dinner. Please follow the conversation.
Yeah.
I'll have any type of sandwich. I don't choose. I love, what kind of sandwiches do you have upstairs?
Even though I only have one child, it's like choosing between children.
I love every sandwich.
I can tell you just judged off of the charcuterie board that you decimated.
I love a bresaola.
So you should try the mozzarella because it has all of our not all of them, but it has a lot of our imported meats direct from Italy.
Yum.
So you get the copa,
So that's
the
like an Italian
ventricina.
sandwich.
Yeah, it's like that's our Italian version. The zucca gets a lot of
That's fried
Instagram
zucchini.
love, but that's all vegetarian, which I wouldn't sleep on.
He's got a great turkey club too.
Turkey club's great
I
too.
love a turkey club.
And we make the turkey in house. So we literally brine it for 2 days. We cook it sous vide. Like it's special.
Oh
No,
my
we're gonna
God.
say no. We're gonna rock.
I also
out.
love a gobbler the day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Oh, like a turkey sandwich.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, gobbler.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we don't have that here.
What? It's all Thanksgiving.
Wait, you don't have stuffing and cranberry sauce on demand here?
Wait, you
But we
don't
are doing
have a
Thanksgiving
gobbler
dinners.
or a peanut butter and jelly? I'm
Yeah.
out of here.
Dude, I will make whatever you want right now. How's that?
Marissa's going to open a rival sandwich shop.
Wait, what other sandwich? I'm so excited.
So we do.
Tuna's
The
good?
tuna's great. We actually we buy the sides of tuna.
love-
We poach them in olive oil with some herb and stuff. Like we do it. I'll give you a tour before we're done, or after we're done, and we'll rock it out. I'll show you some stuff.
All right, well, you guys should go take the tour.
Let's go do this.
I got no more questions.
This is my new favorite spot.
We're gonna go
God, I
back.
love this.
The next time I go to Chez Mia, I'll take you, Dom.
Yes.
You can sit on.
My wife's coming though. I'm gonna
Yes.
she's coming with all her girlfriends
You
and
can-
stuff. Like
you can sit
Let me
on
know
the
when she is
patio.
so I
I
can
even know
say
a
hi.
few of them too. What's that?
No, you can sit on the patio, think about the fact that there was a very glamorous celebrity-laden parking lot there, and then we'll talk about this again.
I'm gonna pound champagne in those caviar Gruyères.
By the way, I have a funny story about the caviar
Go,
Gruyere.
let's go.
I was, we do a lot of press when you open a restaurant, and I was on Good Day LA a couple weeks ago. And I was with the host, Melvin, who's lovely. And it was live. And he said, "What am I about to eat?" And I said, I looked at the caviar Gruyere. And in my head, these morning shows are early, and I had
It's
not.
really early, and you have to.
She had a lot of rosé the night
And
before.
your call
She was. Wait, what'd you
times-
call it? Tequila'ing. She was tequila'ing the night before.
Yeah.
These are all my excuses. But I looked at it, and I said to Melvin, "Have you ever had a French kiss?" And he was like, "What?
Whoa.
Yes." And I said, "This tastes like a French kiss." And he tasted it and he's like, "Whoa, yes, it does. It's amazing." But since then, some of our patrons who have saw the show have been ordering and asking our servers for a French kiss, which can get a little tricky. So tell your wife not to ask her server for
French
a French
kiss.
kiss when she comes.
Amazing.
Okay, you're gonna go eat.
We're gonna go. We're gonna go. Yeah, and I have a surprise for you.
But first, she's getting some sandwiches. All right, thanks so much for coming here, Marissa.
This is the best
Thank you
day
so much.
ever.
We're so happy for you. Like the restaurant mogul that you're becoming, the amazing new restaurant. Like congratulations on everything. You guys do it top notch, and thank you for making the time to be here.
Yeah, thank you.
Joy.
Thank you for bringing the color. I'm glad you like the cheese.
Thank you for the cheese and the meat and for the sandwiches to come.
All right, talk to you again soon. Thank you, Marissa.
Yeah, pleasure. Bye.